Hey everyone, Matt Stack here with LCT Success Stories, and today I'll be interviewing Jacob Kettner. Thanks for
Hey
coming on
Matt,
today.
thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, awesome, man. So, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself? How'd you get started with internet marketing and SEO?
Sure. So I got started with internet marketing back when I was, I guess, 15, um, and I just wanted to, I didn't have a job. I was in high school, wanted ways to make money online. Clicked on a bunch of those make money online ads,
Mhm.
and ended up. I think the first thing I ever did to try to make money was, do you remember those sites where you complete offers to win prizes?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. And it was so basically you're doing affiliate offers and then you add up points, and then once you get enough points you can get like a laptop or something or cash prizes. So I've
Yeah.
like joined like there were a couple of forums of people like that would like game those. So basically you do like free offers, you like pay people to do offers for you, but you end up paying them less than you're getting, and it's all just like incentivized.
Okay.
um, so anyway, I made like $10 doing that in like a year. but that was sort of just got me like looking for ways to make money online. Then I sort of stumbled across Digital Point forum, and bought lots of ebooks on there. And eventually, I bought some sites on SitePoint, which is now Flippa, um,
Mhm.
and bought like a site that was selling an ebook on how to get free ebooks. It was basically like you like search for it in Alexa and you could find the download pages because Alexa didn't respect no index tags.
Okay.
Uh, anyway, like I sold that, ended up like flipping that site for like $800, and like just like really just like had no idea where to start. Like I was like, I
Yeah.
want to make money online, don't know what to do. Ended up buying. I promoted some adult offers on YouTube, hired a Filipino guy to download videos and re-upload them watermarked with my affiliate link on them. Made a little bit of money doing that, really all over the place. And the one thing that hit and stuck that I ended up actually making a fair chunk of change with was drop shipping on eBay. So I'd sell, I had a supplier in China that would drop ship custom printed products,
Okay.
and I would upload like NFL logos and trademarked material onto them, and then list them on eBay, and then drop ship them directly to my buyers.
Okay.
And so I actually did really well with that. Got some cease and desist letters, and got into some trouble. But I was pretty consistently bringing in like 40, $50 a day from that
Okay.
for like 6 or 7 years. Like it was it was a pretty passive way to make money. And then I ended up going to school, and took business in school, and I wanted to start something like a real business that wasn't
Yeah.
illegal. And so I like drop shipping. So I took like this dropship lifestyle course with Anton Kraly, and I was like one of the first members there, and ended up starting a fire pit drop shipping store. We drop ship like these $2,500 like granite fire pit tables and
Oh
stuff
wow.
like that. And that actually went really well. Like within 8 months, it was making a couple $1,000s a month. And I wanted to do SEO because it was right at the beginning of product listing ads, and you could get
Mhm.
Google shopping ads for like a penny a piece. And so I was just
Okay.
like killing it with ads, but I wanted to do SEO. And so I hired an SEO company, and they didn't do anything. And then I hired another one, and I didn't get results. I ended up like hiring like three different SEO companies. And to be fair, I didn't give them a chance at all. Like I gave them like a
Yeah.
month. um,
So
but
you
in
were
my
that bad
defense,
client right at the beginning.
you know what though? It was entirely their fault because there was no client management on their side. Like
Okay.
if I was selling to myself now, I would have kept me on.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't give me anything to go with. They were also underpriced. They were like it wasn't good options. So anyway, so I started going into SEO. Started learning about myself. Found Alex Becker. Um, was in his source infinitum. This is like maybe 2.5 years ago now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I was in there as well.
yeah, it was a fantastic program.
Yeah.
It's the best thing he's ever done. Anyway, basically made the decision that my fire pit site wasn't going to rank. That I had like thousands of canonicalized pages because of the menu structure in Shopify for sorting and stuff. And like I just wanted to cash out on it and start doing SEO. So I sold the business, got like a decent check from it, and then started like right after that, started into client SEO work and a little bit of testing with affiliate stuff. And that's got my first client and just liked the SEO side of things better than the e-commerce side.
Okay.
And that's sort of how I got here.
How did you get your first client?
So this is something that I wouldn't necessarily recommend that people follow my
Okay.
strategy for this. But I really needed a proof. So basically I started off, I was following like Lior. I forget his last name. He's from Toronto. Lior and like Scope Leads guy. And Wyatt we did a course together, which I didn't actually buy, but I watched their webinar, and it was about getting leads off of freelance sites. So I was like, okay, freelance sites it is. So I was all in on freelance sites. I was responding to everything, getting like a lot of invites to stuff, and just couldn't close the sale. And it sort of occurred to me that I needed some proof of existing clients, some testimonials, like some sites that I'd already ranked. And I think that really is the hardest piece, is getting that first client. And I actually had a conversation with Stephen Floyd at the time before he became a big guru, and he was he said, why don't you rank your own site for Winnipeg SEO? And I said, I can't afford to. Like, it's going to cost me a couple $1,000s a month for 3 to 6 months. Like if I do what I say I can do, and like I don't have that kind of money to put into it. So I went out to find a low competition client that I could afford to rank, and I was willing to do it for free. So I identified the niche of eyelash extensions. It was something I actually heard Greg Morrison mention in something. He has a client that he ranked for eyelash extensions in Nashville, and I was like, I can do this. Like there's not a lot of competition. What?
You want some free services out of it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see these beauties. So I went down found on like the second page, there was an eyelash extensions service, had, really crappy website. And I just sent a cold email. I said, hey, I think I can really help your website rank better. I can generate you a lot of leads. I showed like the Nashville site that Greg did. I was like, a buddy of mine did this. And like, the reason I'm choosing your niche is because I know I can make you an ROI. And I'd like to do it for free. And until you're ranking, I think I said until you're in the top 3. And then and then I want $300 a month. So it was pretty much a no-brainer for her. And she jumped on it and ranked that site. And that was sort of my springboard for moving forward. I did it with one more client, actually, as a friend of mine who's a cleaning service. Same thing. Didn't charge him until he reached for number 1, actually, I think, for him. And then, once those two were where they wanted to be, I was making $800 a month, which isn't a lot because I was putting pretty much 100% of that back into their campaigns. But that led into me getting more clients because I had proof and could call these people and see their rankings. So that was cold email. In answer to your question, cold email, offering free services, easy way to get your first client.
Okay, so that's interesting. I've heard of people like offer free services, but I think you set up a little smarter where they get it free until they're ranking. So that way you can collect some money on the back end there. What I wanted to ask about that was, how many of these offers did you send out? Like, did you send out 10 or 20 of these and those 2 bid, or was it just those 2?
You know what? I sent out 2 for eyelash extensions and got 1 response. And for the other one, he approached me. Actually, he was a friend from high school, and so we just sort of worked that out. Actually, if you're interested, I think I could pull up that email that I sent. I think it was actually a fairly well-crafted email.
Well, that's pretty cool. You got like a 50% like response rate on that, and they took the service. I think so many people overthink all this stuff. Like, well, what if they ask me this? What if they ask me this? They just totally overthink all that. It's like go out there, send out an email, take action, you can get a client out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's not hard, especially if you're offering free services.
Yeah. What skill sets do you think have been most helpful to you with growing a digital agency?
Whew. Um, that's interesting.
I'd like a list of 20 ordered in. Most important.
So is this?
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think the best skill set is to learn first starting out?
Sorry, I'm being a bad interview because I'm trying to find that email at the same time. I'm gonna if I find it, I'll send it to you, and you can post it with this. So as far as skills, I'll give you the best skill that I have that has helped me, and I'll give you the skill that I wish I had that would have helped. And the best skill is really just being number one thing, you need to be able to do SEO. Don't go out selling SEO. You can't do it.
Yeah.
But as far as actual skills, talking to people, like it's a people business. And if you're afraid of talking to people, you're not going to get anywhere. I've closed deals. I have clients that pay me thousands of dollars a month that I've never spoken to, that we just, they Skype me, or like, that's just what they're comfortable with, but it's rare and it's unlikely. And I'm not a closer. Like when it comes to sales, like I give them a very open, proposal and let them take their time with it. And, I'll follow up if I don't hear back, but it's not, I'm not a hard closer. I won't do like the phone, walk them through the proposal on the phone and try to get the sale right there.
Give me your credit card.
Yeah. I don't like it when people do that to me. Like I like to think about things and
I hate that pressure too.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe doesn't mean no. Maybe means maybe. Like I'll think about it means I'll think about it. So yeah, just being comfortable talking to people.
I'm sorry. That reminded me of a Tim Ferriss quote. He said, I think it's like your level of success in life is correlated to how many uncomfortable conversations you want to have. It just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah. It was actually a friend of mine in the group. He's in LCT, but we met elsewhere. He runs an agency in Edmonton, and he said to me, it's probably a quote from somebody else, but he said it to me. I was in a position where I was really, I took on like 10 new clients in the matter of 2 weeks, and I just didn't have the agency size to handle it.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out, and I talked to him for advice, and he's like, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. Other people are uncomfortable too. It's not just me or you.
When did you first start bringing on other people to like help you out with the work, like either like outsourcing it or hiring employees?
Fairly early on. I'd say after I built my first PBN.
Okay.
I decided that wasn't something that I wanted to do again.
Yeah.
So I hired a writer almost immediately, and I actually still have him. I have the same writer that I started with. He's amazing.
Okay.
He's overseas, but he's fluent. For English as his first language. He lives in Africa. And so that was pretty early on. And then I was hiring people on freelance sites. On Odesk, which is Upwork now. And I was setting up processes for building PBNs. That was the first thing I really wanted to systemize in Trello. And I'd assigned to a writer. I actually hired a few other writers at the time. I'd assign the project to a writer, what the site needed to be about, and they had to tie it into the original site to make it sort of make sense. And then I'd move it down the board to a designer who would build the site, and then it would go into a spreadsheet. And I just hated working with freelancers, just their mentality. They're business people, and half the time they say they're doing the work themselves, but they're actually part of an agency. And half the time the work gets done right, and half the time it's not. And just super
Uh-huh.
frustrating. Um,
Yeah.
so I'd say like when things sort of started to turn around as far as employees, it was when I moved off of freelance sites and started looking on. I've hired a lot on onlinejobs.ph. Still
Okay.
not 100%, but like just getting people that are in the mindset of being employed versus people that are in the mindset of running their own businesses.
That makes
I,
sense.
I want employees, not contractors. And if I
Yeah.
want contractors, I mean, I use lots of contractors, but that's, I'll go to Web20 Ranker, Marketer Center. Like I'll get someone that has a process already. I'm not going to train contractors to do my work, right?
Yeah. What kind of work do you think you should do in-house, and then what kind do you think you should outsource?
That's a great question. Um, like originally, I wanted to do everything in-house. That was my goal,
Mhm.
was to train people on factors of production. Makes sense. It'd be cheaper. I'd get it done when I wanted it, how I wanted it. Um, you know what? I guess the real answer to that question is that it depends on size. Because if you only have one client, you should do everything in house. Your first client, you should do the whole thing by yourself. Like there's no part of the business that should be getting done that you don't know exactly how it's getting done.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you're going to take the other approach, unless you want to be a salesperson, client manager, and get a hands-off white label solution where you don't touch it, you have
Yeah.
someone that can fulfill. Like absolutely, by all means, that's a viable business model. But if you're outsourcing, if you're buying citations and you've never built citations before, uh, I just I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend that you know exactly how to do everything that you're paying for. First of all, then you won't get overcharged because you know exactly what it takes.
Mhm.
And second of all, you can check quality. Like I like to go in, vendors send me a sheet. I'm like, okay, that looks pretty. There's lots of links on this sheet. I go in, look at each link, see the quality of the work, see whether they, put relevant images and filled out the profiles correctly. And like, um, so I guess the actual question was, what should you outsource and what should you do in-house? I'd say
Yeah.
anything that gives you a strategic advantage, you should do in-house, which would be if you have a system for, if you have an anchor text system that works really well, choose your own anchor texts. If you build PBNs, if you have a competitive advantage for PBNs because you build really high quality PBNs and interlink them and do, tier twos and stuff, like anything that gives you a competitive advantage, do in-house. Otherwise, you're providing the same service as everyone else out there.
That makes sense.
But yeah.
Do you offer any other services besides SEO to your clients?
No. I did when I started. I wanted to expand horizontally and be a full service agency, do pay per click and website design. And I took on some of those jobs, and they're just each one would require building an entire business for
Yeah.
SOPs and everything. And I could outsource those sides of things, but I like being in control of the one thing that I'm really good at. And because
Yeah.
I've positioned myself as just an SEO company, I actually get a lot of business from social media companies, pay-per-click companies, web design companies that
Okay.
don't, because a lot of them don't do in-house SEO, and
Yeah.
it positions me better. If I competed with them on their other services, then I wouldn't get that business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How are you getting those kind of strategic partnerships? How are you approaching that?
Um, so some comes through BNI.
Mhm.
I
Can you
I don't
explain BNI really quick to listeners that might not know what that is?
Yeah, BNI is an international referral passing group. I forget what BNI actually stands for, but it's basically the format is you go in once a week, you meet with your chapter. There's only one person from each profession in your chapter. So I'm the
Mhm.
only SEO guy. Another SEO guy cannot join my chapter. And everyone, you network and you talk about your business a little bit, and one person does a presentation, but then you also you pass referrals. So if I know people that are looking for an electrician, I refer them to the electrician in the group. And, it's important to be in a group where you actually have a clean conscience referring people. You don't want to, you don't want to refer shitty workers. But my group happens to be really good. And the other component of BNI that I think gets overlooked when people are considering joining is the one-to-ones. So it's encouraged that you have one-to-one meetings with all of the people in your group.
Okay.
And it's not a sales meeting, but you go and you talk about your business and their business for an hour. And basically they give you all their pain points and tell you exactly how to sell them.
Yeah.
I don't focus on selling my actual group members, like the 20 people in my group. I focus on teaching them how to sell my service to referral. Like the referrals mean so much more than the people actually in the group.
Yeah, that's mine.
I have 2 clients in the group. They're both very, very happy. They give me good testimonials and they help, but there's other clients in the group or people in the group that just wouldn't make good clients.
Yeah.
And, even like there's an HVAC guy that would make a fine client, but his advertising budget for the year is $1,500. And like, I'm not gonna tell him he should start spending. He's successful. He's running a great business. So it doesn't make sense to try to tell him he should start spending $30,000 a year. Like, yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have any other referral strategies?
So I wouldn't really call it a strategy. I have played with giving incentives to clients to refer people, but I don't do it regularly. I sort of got lucky. I fell into a niche that has a large online community based around the niche of entrepreneurs that are digitally savvy.
Yeah.
But it's an offline niche. So I ended up working for one client in that niche, and he posted a review in their online community, and then I got another one, and now they're both referring me, and then I ended up partnering with one of them in another business, and I have a very large number of people in this specific niche because
that's awesome.
They have that community. So even though it's not what I didn't focus on one niche, like I focused on a geographic area mostly. I'd say having a niche, it's so much easier to close people in this niche now because they see all the proof in the niche and they know the other people in the niche, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, social proof is just so powerful. It doesn't get better than a referral.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the future? How big do you want to grow your company, or where do you see yourself?
Yeah. I was looking over the questions before the interview. This one got me thinking a little bit. My goal isn't to grow a massive client-facing agency. I don't want to hire. I might change, but I don't think I want to grow to a point where I'm hiring client managers. I like managing sales and client management, and the fulfillment processes are fairly easy to scale. So I can manage a fairly large number of clients on my own as long as they're happy. Happy clients are pretty easy to manage. But in diversifying, I think it's something that everyone should be aware of in SEO, is that SEO is this incredibly volatile market. And I don't control my income entirely. Like Google could roll out an update tomorrow that takes me from my current income to zero. I could get fired by all my clients tomorrow, and it wouldn't be my fault. And because of that, I really want to reinvest some of the profits that I'm making into more stable businesses. So I'm getting into. I like partnering with clients because they can see what I can do already. I've done it twice and probably won't do it again, but not because it didn't work out, just because I only have so many hands. Doing some stuff with like local, solar panels company, where again, like my role is SEO and digital marketing, but I'm an owner in the company. And if SEO goes to shit, I'll find a solution, and, we'll do other types of digital marketing and stuff. Whereas, and I mean, I know people would say I can do that with the client agency too, but because of the way that I've positioned myself just as an SEO person, it's not really the way that I want to go. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not being a doomsayer. I'm not saying SEO is going to die, but it's, within the next 10, 15 years, it's going to change significantly.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be in some different spaces at the same time. So, and affiliate stuff. I love affiliate stuff. Like, I like doing the SEO myself too, as much as, once you build processes, you don't do as much of the reverse engineering and actually like building stuff. So that's why, I mean, I've gotten involved with the SEO Recon Mastermind, actually doing like, testing more stuff and, just building sites and tracking and presenting studies. And like, I really enjoy that stuff too. So I'm basically, I guess I'd say I will continue taking on clients as long as clients keep coming to me. But I'm not out pounding the pavement right now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Where do you see SEO going? Let's say in the next 5 years.
I can't even begin to say. I guess I should say something just so that, like, on the off chance that I'm right, I can be like, I predicted that 5 years ago. Honestly, I would not be surprised if another company moves in and takes a large market share. I think Google has expanded a lot horizontally, and they produce good search results, but that's not really someone's going to come out with something new and innovative that like specifically focuses on the local market, or I don't mean like Yelp, I mean like a replacement search engine. That's my prediction, is that we'll have more platforms to contend with in 5 years.
AskJeeves.com is going to come back.
I love Ask Jeeves. You type in your question, and then it doesn't answer you though.
Yeah.
It just gives you a list of sites. It's like, please type your question in question format, such as how does this work? Or where can I find this? And then it just gives you a list of search results like every other search engine. Yeah. I did like Ask Jeeves though.
Well, what's your number one tip you'd give someone about SEO right now?
Keep you more specific.
What's your best golden nugget about SEO you could give the audience?
This is going to be really boring, but I'd say stop chasing shiny objects. There's a very simple process that works, and it's not a secret. Get high quality backlinks, look natural, produce good content, and there's I love the tricks. I love testing black hat stuff and jamming sites up there that shouldn't be ranking. But at the end of the day, especially since this is a local, this is an LCT thing. Like if you're working with clients, it's not sexy. It's just like it works. Do what works. Yeah.
Is there any resources or books, videos that you'd recommend for anyone to help, further their education with learning SEO or anything with clients?
I mean, as far as client stuff goes, I love Dan Kennedy. Anything by Dan Kennedy. He's got one of my favorite book is Direct Response Marketing for Non-Direct Response Businesses. Actually, well, no BS, Direct Response Marketing for Non-Direct Response Businesses. Sorry, my son just got home. Hi, Asher. Hi, I'm just on a call. Okay, so I'll be out in a couple minutes, okay? Okay, bye. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to Matt? Okay, come here. That's Matt Stack. Say hi, Matt.
Hi there.
Hi. All right, can you go see mommy? Sorry about that. So we were saying, I love that. I love that book because it really provides a good way to communicate with clients and to just shift their mind frame, because it talks a lot about how businesses they look inwardly. They look at what everyone else in the industry is doing, and specifically like newspaper ads for car dealerships. It's like car dealerships, they all do it because all the other ones do it. And if they took that budget and put it into something else, but they'd be ostracized in the community for looking outward instead of looking inward.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm gonna move locations here. I'm gonna go downstairs.
All right, no worries.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that was everyone was coming home. You might have to edit this a little bit. Some cuts.
It's all good, dude.
Oh, it's okay, Asher. You have kids?
No. Not for a few years.
Yeah, maybe one day.
I'll be getting engaged at the end of the month.
Oh yeah, so confident?
Yeah. we're going to London. I'm going to propose out there.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Well, I'll congratulate you when she says yes. But how's my new backdrop? Got my cedar paneling here.
Boom.
70s. This is my 70s basement. All right. Sorry.
I guess just mention the change of scenery or something, so then it's not just like you all of a sudden.
Hey, I just had to move downstairs because things were getting a little bit noisy upstairs. So we're in my 70s basement now.
And so you're talking about, you recommend Dan Kennedy for the client stuff. Any trainings you'd recommend for SEO or any other areas of marketing? Any books?
You know what? Like as far as SEO goes, I'd say courses only get you so far. And like I'm a course junkie. I buy courses because I want to know like if there's a golden nugget in there, I'll take it. But it's not just the money investment at a certain time. Like if you buy 5 courses and they all have 90% the same material, you're wasting, hours and hours and hours of your life watching videos and stuff. I love, really, I'm not just saying this. Matt didn't tell me to say this, but like everything you need to know is in LCT, LPV. And then on top of that, sorry, not everything you need to know, but everything that you're going to learn from courses. Mm-hmm. And then like you can't make up your own way. Everyone says go out, like don't watch courses, go out, make up your own thing. You can't make up your own thing until you have a basic foundation. It's like, you can't compose music for an orchestra if you don't know how to write music. Mm-hmm. So get a foundation. LPV is great for that, and then go out and start pushing, some of the limits. See what you can do. See if you can get a site penalized. See if you can get it unpenalized. Like just try using tier 2 links. Try doing different anchor text. Like there's just millions of combinations of ways that you can do things. And I've found of the limited testing that I've done, I'd say 10 to 20% of it works. So mm-hmm. it's not hard to find. It's not like there's like these secrets that are really hard to find. It's like there's a lot of shit that works. so take some courses, get like a basic foundation, and then just go out and test stuff. And test sites can make money too. I'd say, I probably make about $1,500 a month from test sites that worked out right now. And like
that's awesome.
I wasn't trying to add that to my revenue stream. It just happened. Yeah. So.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, man, for coming on. You shared some good stuff. I like the part where you found the niche. You got like one good testimonial, and then you started referring people, and then you started getting a bunch of referrals. That was some mm-hmm. pretty good stuff and everything else. So I appreciate you coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. All right. See ya.
All right. Okay. Bye.